Voting during a pandemic. More voters are asking for absentee or mail-in ballots, while others are wondering just how safe voting in person is going to be. Bottom line, how do you make sure that your vote is counted? Guilford County Board of Elections Director Charlie Collicutt is with us right now to answer your questions today. How do you ask him a question? This is how you do it. You text the question 336-379-5775. Remember, this is text only, so don't call that number, text only. All right, so we have this question from someone that says, I'm concerned about the absentee and mail-in ballots. With the window open to send in a mail-in ballot so close to Election Day, what is stopping someone from sending in a mail-in ballot and then also going to vote at the polls? How do they know that someone did one or the other?
Okay, that's a great question. And I know it's a tight window, and the answer kind of depends on how tight it ends up being. We will, for Election Day, the check-in books, we'll print those on Sunday before the election. So if we receive that ballot before then, the books are marked. If you go to vote and you present to vote and check in, they'll say, oh, sir, ma'am, you've already cast a by mail ballot. And so we could stop you right there. But as we talked about last week, we can get these ballots well after Election Day before canvass. And you may have already voted on Election Day. And so you may think that you got 2 votes in because you didn't get stopped, but you didn't. When we process that incoming absentee ballot, we'll know, our records will stop the process. We'll get a red flag and it will say, oh, this person already has voting history. So you might send in a second ballot, but you are not going to get a second vote counted.
Good to know. All right, this person is asking, how do I register to vote, and how do you vote by mail if you're not registered yet?
Okay, it's not too late to register to vote. The deadline is going to be October 9th to do that. So go ahead and get registered to vote. You can register to vote with a voter reg form, and you can apply for an absentee ballot at the same time. Send both those forms in at the same time. But just make sure you're registered by October 9th so you can vote by mail Election Day, or you can do a same-day registration at early voting.
Okay, and say that again for us, like when do you have to register by?
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to vote by mail or you want to vote on Election Day, the date is October 9th. We need that voter registration form by October 9th. However, the caveat is if you go to early voting and you have not yet registered, you can do that during early voting only. So I just want to be clear. If you want to go by mail or Election Day, October 9th. If you just show up at early voting, you can register that.
Okay, and early voting is the same dates for everyone across the state, October 15th through the 31st. But the times are a little bit different depending on what county that you are in. So I think we have a graphic to show folks at home, and you can kind of talk them through it as well, about how the times change between weekdays and weekends.
Right, okay. And it is unique depending on the county. All the counties are going to be open from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Some might have different office hours, and weekend hours can be different. It's just that is a county by county decision. Not the weekdays 8 to 7:30. It's the weekends and what they do with their Board of Elections office. There's some differences that you may see there.
All right, and for example, in Guilford County, what you're seeing right here, as he said, the weekdays are all the same no matter what county. But in Guilford County on the weekends, the times are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Saturday and Sunday. The only change there is on Saturday, October the 31st, closing a little early because it's Halloween, and so that's at 3 o'clock. But I got to tell you, I just checked Forsyth County's times and things of that nature, and so their Sunday times are only from like 1 until 5. So we have that information for you in the Who Wants to Know section for you to look up. And every county got to submit their own plan.
That's right. All 100 counties submit their own plan, and it's just going to be those weekends, and their office are going to be the variations.
Someone asked, how long should I expect it to take to receive my absentee ballot? I requested it 3 weeks ago. And that's a really good thing, because it's not taking so long because of the mail service. It's for another reason.
Right. We cannot even begin sending out ballots until Friday, September 4th. So we have a lot of requests for ballots. All those people that have been requesting for weeks, we've got them ready. When we get the ballots from our printer, which they're coming in now, we're going to start stuffing envelopes, but they can't hit the mail until Friday, September 4th. So we've got about 40 temp workers and part-time workers, and we are stuffing envelopes like crazy to get all those requests out over the weekend, hopefully.
And there were over 1 million absentee ballots requested already in the state of North Carolina. Do we have an estimate for Guilford County yet?
Oh, I mean, it changes and increases every time the mail comes to the office, but we're easily over 35,000, and that'll just keep increasing for the entire time.
And can you give me some context about how much that compares to other elections?
Oh, it's beyond even a comparison to any past election. In 2016, we only had about 12,000 absentee by mail ballots total. So we are way on the path to surpassing that.
This person is texting, can a friend deliver an absentee ballot to an early voting site for me?
A friend cannot. A near relative can, and that's grandparents, parents, brother, sister, son, daughter, grandson. It doesn't extend as far as niece and nephew, aunt, uncle, cousins. But if you're that very near relative, you can, but friends cannot.
So then is there some kind of ID that's happening to make sure that that is a friend relative thing happening?
We're not checking IDs when you drop these things off, but we will ask you your relationship to the voter, and you will have to sign off on a log sheet attesting that you're certifying that you're telling the truth in the matter.
All right, we have several questions about how do I know it's a real absentee ballot or registration form. We're going to answer that question and many more when we come back. Remember, you can text your questions to 336-379-5775. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.